my girls. This is your daily reminder that you, me, and we are fine-ish. I am here today with my friend Angela.
I'm good.
You good? Angela was late today. I'm gonna point that out. Angela is always late, and she said
Yeah.
she sets me off because she is always late. I said, please arrive 10 minutes early. She did not.
Listen, I don't ever get out of bed. So Lexi is actually really lucky that I'm here.
I'm flattered. I'm absolutely flattered. So Angela is pregnant. It's really funny because what are you now? How far along?
I'm 18 weeks right now. In a couple days, I'll be 19 weeks. So I'm almost halfway there, which is kind of insane.
And I'd like to note this has not been announced yet. This will be announced by the time this episode comes out. However,
Yeah, this is like not public information.
you haven't even told your family yet, right?
No, I'm telling them this coming weekend, and I'm really excited.
That's terrifying, though. If I feel like my mom, if I didn't tell her, would know.
Well, it's like it's the first grandchild on both sides, and so I just feel like we deserve a moment together.
That's
You know,
fair.
my dad always used to say, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans."
I like
I
that.
feel like this is a really that's exactly what happened here.
I actually like that. So your sign that birth control doesn't always work, though. I want everyone to realize that.
Yeah, thank God Lexi's on 2 of them.
Locked and loaded over here. I am strapped. I am absolutely strapped. Ugh, I want to go back to, first of all, Stevie. I'm going to say Mr. Stevie, who is Angela's boyfriend, who is also my handyman at any given time. He has set up every system in my apartment. Thank you, Steve.
Sweet Stevie.
I am the little child of my friends. Steve and you, how did you all meet? Because actually, no, I'm not going to say it like that. I know how you guys met. And it is the crazy, I have never heard, I didn't even know this existed. So how'd you meet? Because it's really funny. And it's kind of terrifying, but it's funny.
Facebook dating?
That's not a thing.
Okay, so like I didn't really think it was a thing either, but like I kept getting notifications, like whatever, 300 people like you or whatever. So I just like clicked on it and I had a message.
Did you have a profile on it?
It like
You had to have had a profile.
like you can sign up, but it kind of auto populates like pictures and things you have on your profile.
Hate
so
that.
it's not like it's not as like intensive to make as if you were making like a Tinder or a Raya or a Hinge. Like you have to go in and you can go in and like do prompts like that, but you kind of just like enroll. Like you could pull up and maybe you should try it, girl.
Absolutely not. I don't think my man is going to be on Facebook. Good for you, but I do not think mine is going to.
I clicked on it and somebody messaged me. I've met one person off that app and it was Steven and that was it. And I almost didn't meet him. Apparently we matched on Tinder a year prior and I ghosted him and he loves to tell everybody that.
Tinder.
You
have some fascinating choices of dating apps.
You know, so I met him like
I feel like Tinder isn't like, oh, I'm gonna find the love of my life.
Well, I mean, I had just moved here when I made
fair.
the Tinder.
Okay.
And so I feel like when you just move to a big city and you're single, you're just like, let me download them all.
That's fair. I just have like the idea that, I mean, granted, you're older than me, but I think now.
I'm almost 30. I just turned 29, so like I should probably not rush it.
You're still looking at the computer. Every time you glance down, you look at yourself in the computer. I'm done.
It's like when you're on FaceTime and you just keep looking at yourself.
No, but this is the worst part because it flips you. So whenever somebody screenshots me on FaceTime, I actually want to jump off the nearest building. Like it's absolutely insane. My face is so asymmetrical. So asymmetrical. It's bad. So when I see myself on FaceTime,
I see symmetry in your face, but okay.
From here, but on a FaceTime camera, or if a camera's not.
It's the same face.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. That will haunt me tonight. Don't tell me that.
We met a year prior, allegedly.
On Tinder.
And I guess I asked him if he wanted to go to Printer's Alley with me. And he was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. And I like never responded back. And I was like, oopsie.
See, I hear Tinder. I think like you are wanting a one-night stand.
I don't think I've ever had a Tinder one-night stand.
That's just all I think Tinder is.
But like, I mean,
Like,
I also don't think Stevie's a one-night stand kind of guy. This is like kind of embarrassing. His bio on Facebook dating was looking for a partner, not a pen pal. I actually almost didn't meet up.
GPT that.
He invited me to go to Moss Tacos in East with him, and I lived downtown at the time. And I was like, ain't no way that I'm like trekking to East to eat a taco.
She says as she lives in East now.
Well, I live in East now, yeah. But like at the time,
he wasn't going to pick you up?
I feel like I would never let a man pick me up on a first date.
I choose death.
I don't want to die.
I choose death, clearly. I let them. I vet them, though. I know everything about you before I go out with you. Do not think that's any other way. Like, I deep dive on
I
these
didn't think I was
guys.
ever gonna meet him. Then, like, one day he texted me, he was like, "Wanna go get lunch in Hampton Social?" And I was like, "Okay, that's close, that's nice."
And now you're having a baby.
And now I'm having a baby. Crazy.
Our timelines are so off.
But I did let him drive me home from the date.
Okay, that's fair. I think
Like,
that's fair. I don't think that my opinion of having guys pick me up is a good thing.
well, I'm just saying, like, you have no idea who you're meeting.
I do, though. That's the thing.
I get that,
I am
but
telling you, I know where their parents live. I know their siblings. I know everything about them. I don't play around. If I'm
But-
going out with a guy that I'm like going to dinner with, they're doing something like that, and that is I only do this deep dive, one, to see if I would ever even want to be with this person, because I'm not going to waste my time. Two, I need to know if they're going to open my car door.
No, I get
It's
it.
such a weird take.
I think that those, like, of course, we all like those things,
Yeah.
opening the car door, like, all little chivalrous things, but I think, like, their red flags aren't gonna be blasted out there.
My favorite story is the calendar story.
Oh god, are we gonna out Steve right now?
Okay, we love Steve, so it's okay.
We do love Steve,
But
okay.
we need to have some people understand that don't do this.
This is what we do not do. And, like, luckily it worked out for Steve, but it probably won't work out for you. Okay, so the first night I spent at Steve's house, when we woke up, like, he was not next to me. He was, like, in his guest room asleep. And so I was like, what the fuck? So, like, I get up and go join him in bed over there. Like, that's
Joining
also...
in bed's so funny.
But it's
also...
like
your first night, you're like crawling in.
Hello?
He's like trying to get away from you. You're like, I'm here. Like, you're not leaving me. I would be so sad if somebody wasn't there when I woke up.
I think he just, like, it can be hard to adjust to sharing a bed with somebody. So I think he just, like, couldn't sleep, is, like, what I've gathered. Regardless.
That's what you tell yourself.
I know, right?
Anywho.
We have a baby together now. Oh. Anyway, so it's also his office. So there's a calendar in the room. And I just, take a quick glance at it.
As you should.
As anyone would. And, on Thursday night, it said, Preds game with Angela. Adorable. What did it say for Wednesday night? Date with Stephanie. And here I was. Like, we had never had the exclusive conversation, nothing like that. I was over here thinking that I was the only one he was seeing, though. And so I, like, started ordering an Uber home. And he's in East, I was downtown. And the Uber came up at that time at, like, $25.
Is he still sleeping?
He's like, yes. Was he asleep? He was laying down, but, like,
Okay.
I think he was, like, awake. Because he saw that he started to order an Uber. I was like, I'm going home. And he, like, looked at me. And I'm over here ordering an Uber, and it was, like, $25, which usually, like, from East to downtown, $8 max. And he's like, you are not getting a $25 Uber right now. Like, what's wrong? And I'm like, who's Stephanie? So I guess he, like, before him and I met, because we'd been seeing each other, like, 2 or 3 weeks at this point, but it was...
That's a good amount of time to
good
be going
amount
on.
of time. I feel like it's one of those things, I don't know, I feel like sometimes you meet somebody and you just hit it off and you kind of become inseparable and
Right.
you go on one date and then you see him every day. That's kind of where we were at. And
You thought you were at.
shut up. So I guess before we met, like 2 months before we met, he matched with this girl named Stephanie. Stephanie, if you're watching this, sorry, I got a baby with him now. He's mine. Watch, like, Stephanie somehow know you. Okay. Now we're back on the record.
I can't cut that out. That is so funny. It's not gonna do anything. I think it's good. I think it's been a while now. I think you're good. I think you're in the clear. You're
gonna get a DM from Stephanie.
Like, it's me. Be like, that is amazing. That's actually amazing.
So anyway, listen, Stephanie, if you watch this, actually message Lexi because we'd love your side.
How good.
Okay, wait.
She's gonna be scared.
Steve dropped me off on the way here, and he was like, "Don't talk too much shit about me." And here I am airing it all out for baby.
He's fine. He's fine.
Steve's a good egg.
Every man makes mistakes.
Okay, wait. So I guess like a month before we started talking, so like almost 2 months prior to this date,
Okay.
he started talking to this girl named Stephanie. But the story I got is that she travels a ton for work. And so they weren't...
Is she a flight attendant?
To be honest, don't know what she does. So, they had made this plan before he even went on the first date with me. And so his logic was they had been talking longer and he like made that commitment to get dinner with her longer than he knew me. And so he at least like owed it to her to try, which I guess I see both sides.
Did he go?
He did go on the date, but He did end up in my bed that night, so I guess it's fine.
He went?
He went, he said it sucked. Okay, so he actually tells me the story of this date. It's kind of funny.
How did he? So you're about to leave.
I'm about to leave.
You're like, who's
he
Stephanie?
like explained
He
it to
explains the
me.
story, and then he's just like, but I'm still going on the date.
Well, it already passed. This was Thursday night after the Preds game, but this date was set like on the calendar for Wednesday. I'm sorry. Okay, so like the night before or 2 nights before, whatever it was. I actually probably have a picture of the calendar in my phone.
So the day you woke up, the night before, it had said
he went to dinner with someone else, but again, he ended up in my bed.
How did that happen?
Okay, so
now I feel really bad for Stephanie.
I don't think you should feel that bad. So they went to Attaboy
for dinner. They don't have food.
Maybe they got drinks. I don't know what they did. I know it just said date with Stephanie. Okay, I didn't have all the details. It just said date with Stephanie. We love you, Steve. Anyway,
poor Steve. I'm telling this story. Carry on. I want to hear it. You're
gonna be so mad.
No, he's not. Steve's great.
This all worked out for him, though. Anyway, okay, so
this is a learning lesson for others.
So they went to Attaboy. If you're not from Nashville, if you visit Nashville, you do need to go to Attaboy. Anyway, it's a chain.
It started in New York. I've been in the one in New York.
Oh, well, here I was thinking it was like some cool niche thing we had.
No, it is good. I mean, except for the bartenders they've got like a stick up their ass. They think granted, they are great bartenders because they don't have a menu and you give them an order and they make you this cool drink. They're so rude, though.
I've never had that experience.
Every time I've been there. Like, they have... No, I'm burping. They have some sort of entitlement. That needs to be addressed. But nonetheless, their drinks are great, so I guess got to deal with it. But yes, they started in New York.
Okay, well, anyway, he went to Attaboy, and the way Attaboy works, like, you can't make reservations, so you, like, knock outside and wait until they let you in with a seat.
Yeah.
So the story I was told was it was Steve and Stephanie, and then these 2 other random girls. And they knocked on the door, and by the time, like, the host or the bartender, whoever it is that lets you in, comes, they were like, well, we only have 1 table for 4. Do you guys all, like, want to sit there together? And Steve said, like, before he could interject and say, like, it's a first date, I'd actually really appreciate, like, if we just talked. She was like, yeah, that's great. So I guess, like, the 3 of them kind of had girl talk, and Steve was just kind of there. And so he left that date and Ubered straight to my apartment. So it was fine. And then he was like,
okay.
He was like, we can be exclusive.
Girls don't do that either. That's weird.
That's weird.
Okay, the only reason I would understand this if she had like been talking to him during this time period while they're waiting and knew that she was like not gonna want to date this guy. That's where I'm gauging that she did that for.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That would make the most sense. That I don't think any girl is that level of like, oh, if they're really into somebody, they're not gonna want to sit with like 2 other random girls. So honestly, it probably was like a good save on her part then.
I have no idea.
Because that's something I would do.
I didn't know. I don't know the details of how much they talked, what they talked about.
All you know is he was in your bed.
Right. But Steve ended up at my place. I didn't know, like, when he came over, obviously, that he just, like, came from a date. But that morning when I told him, like, I saw the calendar or whatever, he was like, we can be exclusive. If you don't feel comfortable calling me your boyfriend yet, that's fine. But he was like, I'll cut everybody off, like, right now. So, like, I didn't even have to ask. He just was like, it's done. Like, it's all you.
Okay, good.
And we've obviously been together ever since, so.
Moral stories, do not keep open calendars.
Yeah, like, you put that shit in your phone, but.
Even then, you're going to don't write that. My goodness, I would not like that.
Poor Steve.
It's the written calendar on the wall for me. That's what's doing it. It's the fact that you have a written calendar on your wall that says date with name. Like
he's like, no one ever comes in my office. And I'm like, well, you went in your office. Did you think I wasn't going to come find you?
That's insane.
Silly.
All right, we'll leave Steve alone for a second. Obviously, you're pregnant. Congratulations.
Isn't that crazy?
It is quite insane. It is quite insane.
Look at
the whole time prior to this, to finding out you were pregnant. This girl we were out and about.
We were getting after.
We were out and about. That baby's got some lingering liquor in it, for sure. For sure.
I'm so sorry.
Because we were at, like, what did we have the weekend before?
It was Memorial Day. It was like,
yeah.
We found out, it was like within the week after Memorial Day. But we were partying Memorial Day.
That's weekend. What I mean. You were out you were shots galore.
I didn't understand why. So we went to a pool party together on Memorial Day. Yeah. And I remember being like, I can't get drunk. Like, every time I finish a drink, I keep puking it. And I was just like, is my body just rejecting alcohol all of a sudden? Because then at one point, I was like, I need a shot. Because everybody was getting toasty. and I just kept puking my drinks. So I had a
And I
shot,
didn't
like
know you were throwing up that day until after. I knew you kept running away, but I wasn't understanding what was going on.
I wasn't understanding what was going on. And so then I, like, took a shot, like, this big. Like,
Yeah,
that was a big shot of Malibu because I was like, "I need to
Malibu's
get
crazy.
I need to get on everyone's
Malibu's
level."
crazy. Drink Malibu since like way too young. And then I remember the next day, you're like, I'm just sick. I'm so sick. I thought you were hungover.
Me too.
I thought you were just really, really poorly hungover. And then it's like a couple of days later, you're still just like nonstop throwing up. And I remember you calling me and being like, Steve won't let me. What? He thought you were sick.
I know, he's like
He was getting so irritated.
he's like, "Can you just, like, lay, like, in the other room? Like, I can't afford to get sick right now." And I'm like, "I don't know what's wrong with me."
He's like, I don't feel sick. Oh my goodness, you were so upset.
And then I was getting ready for work, and I started puking again, but this time there was blood in it, and I called Lexi, and I was like, "What do I do? I'm puking blood."
And I would like to say, prior to this, I gave the opinion that I thought you might be pregnant. Immediately, you're like, "Oh, stop throwing up and all this." I'm like, "Girl, you're probably pregnant." You're like, "No, no, I'm not pregnant." I was like, "Okay." So yeah, you start like throwing up blood or whatever, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm taking you to the hospital. This is absolutely insane." Steve was working or something. I come pick you up, take you there.
So we get to the ER,
Oh my
and they're
God.
like, of course, they do the urine test, they take my blood, blah, 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 and
We were there for a minute.
it was so long.
I ordered Panera. I remember. I was sitting in the
Meanwhile, I
corner.
couldn't even get a sip of water to stay down, and she's munching away.
I was also trying not to laugh because you have a weird fear of needles, and it is so funny because I don't have one. So I've never like in person witnessed somebody that has a fear of them.
Okay, so when I was little, my abuela was teaching me how to sew, and she told me, she said, "If this needle gets lost inside of you, no one will ever find it." And that stuck with little me, and to this day, I now have, like, an irrational fear of needles. Like, I've been getting, like, IV
I was
infusions
hoping
in
for
my
a better story
pregnancy.
than that. It's also funnier because you can find a needle, so you were also lied to.
So the doctor comes in and she's like asking me all these questions. What birth control are you on? When's your last missed period? Like, are you active? Blah, blah. And so she just like is going on and on. And then she just stops and she goes, "Well, I already looked at your test." Yeah, because she's like, "Do you think you could be pregnant?" And I'm like, "No, I'm like literally on the pill." So she just
She was.
stops and she's like, "Well, I already looked at your test. You're pregnant." Like, just
We were
threw it
both
out.
like, what was the point of asking all the questions prior?
Correct.
It was so drawn
I know,
out.
she just, like, dropped the bomb, and then she kinda left the room, and then she comes back with, like, a couple nurses, and then they drop a bigger bomb on us because they were like, "Well, we have no idea how far along you are," and they told us, remember, they were like, "We saw this, like, last week, and a girl came in, and she was actually 9 months pregnant."
Oh, that was yeah. They got me on that. I was like, I
So then
looked
at
at her.
that point, I text Steve. So I'm like, "Steve, you need to come here, like, I don't wanna talk about this over text."
He knew.
He knew.
I remember. Yeah. I feel
I
like
know
that's
when we talk about it now, he's like, "I either thought like you had some weird cancer or you were pregnant." Well, because it was like I was throwing up blood.
yeah, yeah,
Like there's no explanation for that.
yeah. And then yeah, she did say she's like, I've seen girls with IUDs come in and they're like 7 months I'm like, yeah, it was last week that somebody
That's what she
was
told us.
9 months pregnant.
She was like, she was actually in labor, and we were like, "Oh, great!"
You were on like this laugh cry train while we were at the hospital, and it was quite terrifying. But it was like you would laugh really hard to the point where you started crying.
The whole thing just like it was like one of those like, "Is this actually happening to me?" moments.
100%. And then there's me in the corner, like eating my Panera, and I look at because then she gives the whole lecture on, well, the pill is like the least reliable one and everything like this.
And I'm like, "Thanks. I tried the other ones, and they made me actually insane."
And she's saying all this, and I'm sitting here in the corner, and I'm like, excuse me, if somebody happens to be on both the pill and has an IUD, am I safe? And she was like, yeah, you're good. I was like, oh, God. Because she kept saying also like people with IUDs coming in. And I'm like,
Oh my God, have you seen the pictures of the babies born holding their IUD? That's real. They like come out of the womb holding it like a trophy.
no, safe over here. Thank you very much. Locked and loaded. Safe.
Well, so I asked the doctor, I'm like, how is this possible? And she essentially just goes, "Well, sometimes it just doesn't work."
Okay. Thank you. Steve comes and this man is just, he looked
when
like
he
he was
tells
watching
the-
somebody dead in front of him. Like
When-
he was mute. He was scaring me. He was
Was
so
I smiling
silent.
at him?
You were no. You were
'Cause
going, you were like this. You're like,
I was
You were going through
horrified.
every emotion possible. He was going through fear.
He knows.
And
That's
I'm in the corner again, just with my Panera, like, should I go?
He's like, "Does anyone have popcorn?" He said, like, when he tells the story, he's always like, "I walked in the hospital room and you were smiling at me and I just knew." And I was like, "I don't remember smiling, but the
you were
whole
going like hysteric. You were like both cry laugh. So
but
it probably
it's
checks
like
out.
I like blacked out." And so then like they made us wait.
I needed to black out being in that room dealing with all this emotion.
They made us wait so long. They were like, "We have to give you an ultrasound because it's the only way to know how far along you are." And they made us wait so long. I don't want to know what's going to come out of your mouth. I'm scared. I'm scared of you, Lex.
Scared of me.
Okay, but how cute would it be so I'm doing January. In January, we'll have an episode. I'll bring my little guy and we could talk about birth.
No. 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 I get a lot of hate on this topic, and I am sick and strong to it.
Your C-section wants?
Yes. I am
You are
6
actually
foot tall.
insane.
No.
I don't want an epidural, and she thinks I should just get a C-section. You like electively want them to cut through 7 layers of you
Yes.
instead of like a little pain.
Looking. You naive little girl. You are gonna. No. And the reason I say this is because the first time I ever got an IUD, it was copper IUD. Okay.
Me too.
Hear
and
me
that
out here.
Shit hurt.
Hear me out. And they said that is a smidge of the pain. I fainted nearly. I had to sit inside my gyno's office for 3 hours until I could move. That is how bad it was when I first got that IUD, because I drove myself like an idiot. When they walked in the room, they said, "Have you ever had a kid before?" I said, "First of all, you should be able to tell." Second of all, no. And she goes, "Well, then this is probably going to hurt." Fast forward to me nearly fainting. It was the most painful thing I have ever experienced in my life. So for you to be like, "Oh, I'm not going to get an epidural. I'm just going to push the thing out of me," when you're 4'11",
4'10", thank you.
even worse. But
Horrible.
nonetheless, she wants to have a natural.
Okay, listen, back to my fear of needles. Like, this isn't
But you don't fear your hips being spread out galore and everything going.
This isn't some weird crunchy thing. This is like, I am so afraid of the epidural that I would rather endure the pain to not have to get the epidural. Because one, sometimes the epidural doesn't work. Sometimes the epidural stays in too long and people end up paralyzed for like a day after their birth and they don't get to hold their baby. And some people, it fucks their back up forever. And also, you'll probably have like a week of horrible headache because you'll probably have spinal fluid leak. Why would I want any of that when I also have a newborn baby?
I'll be chilling on some Oxy after I give birth. I'm going to be vibing. I'm going to be sitting in that bed, vibing. I give so much credit to people that can have a natural birth. It will not be me. I know my limitations. I know them. And I know my height. And I know how big of a baby I was. I was a C-section. I had the cord wrapped around my neck. I was 10 pounds and 23 inches long. I was a full 2-year-old inside my mom's stomach.
I was 5
That
pounds,
is not coming out of me. See, I know what's going to come out of me, and it's not coming out that way.
But if I have to push out a head as big as Steven's head.
This is why we're not having this conversation after. I have already told her I will not be in the delivery room. I will be in the waiting room. I will be very far away. When the child is cleansed and everything is taken care of inside, then I will enter. If I see it, I fear that my ability to have a child is going to go down.
I feel that.
The C-section, I'm telling you, cut me open, sew me up. I feel nothing. I feel absolutely nothing.
You know, sometimes with the pain meds for the C-section don't work and you actually feel everything.
Well, I'll have a good doctor, so I won't have that issue.
I think that it's
not pain meds. You do know that, right?
It's like a local anesthetic, isn't it?
Yeah, they paralyze you from the neck down.
Right, but it has nothing to do with your doctor. It's just sometimes your body reacts poorly.
Then I'll make a lot of money from having a child.
I don't know if that's how it works.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You're not going to win me on this battle. I will always vouch.
Okay, listen. Well, after you have a child, then we can break down birth.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a while. That episode's gonna come out in approximately a lot of years.
I need you to know that I don't know, maybe couldn't have been 6 months ago. Like a couple months before I found out I was pregnant. I guess it probably has been because now I'm almost 5 months. What the heck, Lex? How is this going so fast? Anyway, a company like reached out to me. It was like a baby sleep sack company and they wanted to work with me. And I responded back to them and I was like, thanks so much for thinking of me. Can you reach back out in 5 years? And look where I am, not a year later. So
I'm not wishing this on myself.
I'm not wishing it on you either. I'm just saying life comes at you fast, my girl.
Double strapped. I am double strapped. double strap. I'm good. I'm good. God put that thing inside of me if there's a child in me. It was hand placed. He went, Mary. Like, I'm not, no.
Mary.
That would be the only case scenario that makes sense. So one of the big things I want to talk about, because we share this, is OCD. I don't know why I did that.
I don't know why
It's
I
like a
did it
tick.
in
You just like
response.
followed me. This is one of the things we like initially bonded over. And I think we have like different types.
I know she said she was medicated, and I was like, me too. And she was like, that's how I knew you were real.
I'm no longer medicated. This is why I'm slightly crazy. I think.
I'm getting off my meds, so.
The thing with meds, no. Nope. No. Absolutely not. I went to a psychiatrist, like, you need to be on this. And I'm like, okay, I went on it. It like helps a good amount. But one, it takes away like my emotional state severely. I am not an emotional person. I'm not very emotional. It takes a lot to make me cry. She is the absolute opposite. I am not a crier.
I'm also
not
pregnant first.
Okay.
Of all.
Before you were pregnant. Now it's just worse. You have always been emotional. Steve can back me on this
I
one.
feel like I
You're
haven't
a
been
crier.
emotional
You're
in
a
the second
crier.
trimester.
You're a crier. Okay, you as a human, prior to being pregnant, are emotional as shit. I am not. Those things made me less. So much more less. And that is saying a lot for me because I already don't have a lot of emotions. It was really hard for me to be like, I have emotions, but
For the first
it takes a lot. Takes a lot for me to get to a point. So I also was gaining weight on them and it just wasn't worth it to me. I was like, I don't like this enough. So I'm an unmedicated OCD gal.
Okay, but one thing that Lexi is not telling you guys, which I think is insane, and we should like stop and sit here for a minute, because we both are, well, I'm weaning off my SSRIs. She's off them because she decided to go off cold turkey. Like, that is so frowned upon and quite frankly insane.
That's me.
But I guess you also were only on them for like 3 months.
Yeah, I wasn't on them too long. I also just like, I didn't think that there would be any side effects of doing that. That didn't go through my brain at all. I was just like, I don't want to take these anymore. And I threw them away.
That's wild. I'm like slowly weaning off because I'm over them. Well, they make me really sick now that I'm pregnant.
And I think with OCD though, the thing is, so for me, I have it really, really badly in relationships. That's an area I have it. It used to be more friend centric. I got better on the friend side. It used to be with friends like growing up. Oh my gosh, like I would overthink anything I ever did. Anything I ever did. In relationships though, it's like any sort of emotional response I receive from a man, I will remember that. And I will
100%.
think about it until the end of the day. I need somebody that like needs to look at me and be like, that meant nothing.
Right.
Like I need to have an absurd amount of communication in a relationship, an absurd amount. And if I don't, I'll overthink. And I've gotten way better with it because I think there is a lot of like exposure and training yourself in certain things that, okay, this is going to piss me off, and kind of establishing that pretty early on is my new tactic on that, because I'm like, I know it's going to bother me. I know I can't be like, I'm a pretty chill like girl dating wise and things like that. But the second I get sent into a spiral, it is
it's game over.
bad. It is so bad. So I've learned like the things that will send me into a spiral and learning how to establish like I need to not get to that point at all. And that goes hand in hand with like me as a person, not like the other person, honestly. Because even if they're screwing up stuff, like I need to get out of it quicker than
one
what's going
time
on.
Steve, like we had just started dating. Maybe we'd been together 2 months. And he was like on a boys trip and he was texting me, but he started using punctuation, and like he doesn't often use punctuation when he texts. And like I sat and thought about it for a really long time. Like, is he mad? Like, why is he texting different? And I spiraled. And like that's like the little quirks of like relationship OCD, that it's like one little thing and you can't let go of it. And the other person will be like, I just accidentally hit the space bar twice. Like, I don't understand. And you're like, what does it mean?
Yeah, no. Any sort of response I receive is like I take it so deeply. I overlook into how somebody writes a simple text. I overlook into everything. And again, I've gotten better with like my reaction towards it, but it doesn't mean I'm still not thinking it.
Right.
Like I'll be like, did I say something wrong? And then I look through all my stuff, and that's the biggest thing I think with OCD that always is like I immediately think I always do something wrong. I have the worst anxiety on the planet when
don't get me started.
When I wake up hungover, my anxiety is so bad because I just sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do last night? And I remember I used to.
I know, does everybody hate me now?
I used to text my friends like, did I do something? Did I do something? Like, it was so ridiculous, and obviously
and then
I didn't
people get
do
annoyed
anything
because they're like, you're fine, and it's
right.
Like,
Now I
But
just don't care.
and, like, the thing with OCD is that it's, like, there's obsessions and there's compulsions, and
Right.
so you're, like, really stressed about, "Did I do something? Did I make you upset?" And your friend will be like, "No, you're fine. I'm not mad at you." But then, like, it'll make you feel better for 5 minutes, and then you're like, "Okay, but what if they're actually annoyed and they're annoyed too much to care because they don't wanna be my friend anymore, and so they're not gonna tell me that they're mad," and so you're like, "Now I just need to ask one more time." And so then you're like, "Are you sure you're not mad?" And they're like, "I already told you." And they tell you yes. But then you're like,
Yeah,
"Now, are they mad because I now asked twice?" And so it's just
a
you
spiral.
keep having to ask and no amount of reassurance ever fixes it.
Right.
I used to be before one of the main reasons I got medicated was because like if I drove over anything in the road, like it could be a speed bump, I'd be like, "Okay, wait, was that a person? Did I just kill somebody?" And that's like insane
Yeah.
saying it out loud, but I'd often like turn the car around and go check. And it was like, you know you didn't run over a person. Why do you need to go check?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd go check 2 times. Like, that's you can't live like that.
No, and that yeah, and I went through a lot of stuff like that too that are outside of, like, more of, like, my personal space and things that I do and weird things that I have. But that like, for me, I didn't think it was bad enough. I think the relationship part really got me, and the way I interact with people is why I even considered becoming medicated, and I was also going through really, really rough relationships that, like,
Mhm.
I was with people that are actually the worst type of people you could be with if you have OCD.
Yeah.
Like, I single-handedly found people that had both disorders or whatever it may be that, like, completely conflict with me as
Right.
who I am. And individuals, and again, like I already talked about the narcissists and stuff like that, like those type of individuals are my worst nightmare. Some people can have like they're able to handle people a bit better because they're more super laid back when it comes to certain things. For me, I read way too much into emotion, way too much into how you're acting towards me. And if that's something that's not going to be consistent,
100%.
I am going to go crazy. And so that was like where I had to kind of sit back and be like, I don't need to be medicated. I need to just find people that are better suited for me.
For
And so
sure.
that's kind of where I sat back and was like, I don't want to be on this medication. I think like I'm not a big medication girl. I don't like taking stuff.
It does kinda make you feel like you lost your sparkle a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't want to be on anything. Like I take my probiotics. That's about it.
I will say, like, I've struggled with very bad relationship OCD, and it's something I think that never fully goes away, you just kind of learn more how to
You
cope
learn
with
how to
it, but
manage
I
it.
will say the longer that I'm in, like, a safe relationship, the better it gets, like, when
100%.
Steve and I first started dating, I was an anxious being all the time, and, like, now I'm more able to be like, "Okay, he's grumpy, but it's because we went to bed really late," or, like, he doesn't feel well, and I can kind of make that I don't know, make that connection, like, not personal, and
That's the
so
issue is putting it on a personal
it's
level.
like I've seen enough how it plays out that it's like, "Okay, he's really quiet today." Like, a year ago, I'd be like, "Okay, that means we're breaking up tonight," you know? Whereas now it's like, "No, he's just tired, and tomorrow will be fine."
Yeah, and that was like my thing. I mean, I've been in relationships where it's like on and off, on and off. I never know if I'm gonna get if like the person wants to be with me or not. Like genuinely
Right, it's
in
like
that
we have
feeling
to
where
be
I
with someone
know that they're actually
predictable.
doing this. Like I'm not making this up in my head. So now I'm constantly spiraling because that's already something I'm thinking about, even if they weren't doing that. And then I get into relationships where it's like, oh, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, and I can't do it. Like it's too much switching because then I don't know any given day how you feel about me.
Right,
And
we
it's like,
need,
I'm gonna
like,
give my all to
predictable
this
people.
person, and then I'm gonna start freaking out daily if you text me weird, not because I'm, like, it's because if you randomly are not texting me or acting a certain way, my immediate thought is like, this person's gonna pop off on me because they've already done it. So I think a big thing with OCD is associating past behaviors and
Sure.
creating a pattern out of that and being like, if they do it 2 times, I'm like, they'll always do it. So every time I sense
100%.
something, then I'll freak out and spiral, and if it's not that, that's on me, but nonetheless, like, that's how I'm attributing it.
Right, you need to be able to know what's coming, like,
Right.
people who are predictable and consistent, I think, work best for us, like, in the past, I dated someone who was bipolar, and it was so hard
Yeah.
because it's like it
The worst
reacted differently
yeah.
different times, and so it's like,
It is the
well
worst combination. I would say that
absolutely.
is probably the worst combination
OCD
of
and
2
and bipolar,
yeah,
absolutely, because, like, we need the reassurance that no matter, like, it's gonna be the same every time,
right,
because that's kind of where the OCD comes from, is, like, that unknown,
right.
and so if you're feeding into the unknown, then quite frankly, we're fucked.
Yeah. No, literally, absolutely, and yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think OCD is also one of those things, it's very manageable, and I always think it's so funny because everyone's just like, "Oh, you're clean," and I'm like, "No." Yes, I have my weird cleaning things. It's not like you're clean. I was trying to explain that. I
There
have to
can like, you
have
can
things in a
be
certain
right.
spot. That's where my spatial comes in. But it's honestly, I get it the most with people, and I get so I wouldn't say I'm anxious over individuals. I would say I just overthink, and I immediately go to
Mhm.
blaming myself. I immediately, like, dig deep at myself instead of just being like, "You know what? I don't care. If they didn't like that, then I need to whatever."
Right, and
And
well, I think
that's
it's
a
like
big piece of everything is like
the older you get, I think the more you realize that I don't know, the world, like I had to kind of realize the world doesn't, like, revolve around me, and that sounds and I don't mean that in, like, a snotty kinda way, it's just, like, nobody is spending their day thinking about that one sentence you said
correct,
last night.
exactly.
Like, they don't care as much as you do, and so, if they say something to you, we'll address it, but nobody's sitting around thinking about you, and
Yeah,
that's, like sounds mean to say, but
but it's
also,
facts.
like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can just live your life, it doesn't really matter. And I think, I'm gonna end this on something that I love that you said, and I use this all the time now. Yes.
Oh.
So one of my biggest areas that I was really overthinking, because 'cause I'm, like, not a texter. I'm not a texter. I like it when you call me. Like, I like being
Lex
okay.
will call you at any given moment.
That is a whole different conversation. That is a whole different conversation, me and my calling. I'm a caller, but, I really enjoy constant communication, so if I'm speaking to somebody where it's way more lapsed, like, there's a big gap between
Especially in the
conversations,
beginning, I feel like that's
especially in the
important.
beginning, I don't like that. Like, don't send me massive like, text me one day and then I hear from you 3 days later, because then my response is gonna be so thought out. Like, it's just not a natural flow. I don't know, I don't like it. And so I remember I would always freak out about like a text I would send or something like that. And I'm not like the type of person I hate writing texts with people, like with friends and things like that, because then I think it takes away from it's like you're not actually talking to me.
Right.
So you're talking to my friend that wrote it. So I'm really big on like I like writing my own things, but then I'll be like, oh my gosh, they didn't respond for this long. So clearly I screwed
Did I
this
say it
up.
wrong?
Like I'm like, did I say the wrong thing? Did I say the wrong thing? And there was one thing you said. The statement was you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. I have lived by that since that statement.
It's so true.
It is so true, and every time I never over it honestly has helped my OCD a lot.
Like, if you're meant to be together, there is one silly text is not
Yeah,
gonna fumble the bag,
yeah, and I live by that motto now.
as you should.
So, that's my amazing part. That's the finale. Cut! But nonetheless, I'm very excited for this little announcement. I'm glad we get to do this prior to that. It's crazy.
I know my
So by the
parents
time
don't
this
even know
comes out I
yet.
know by the time this comes out, you'll finally have
One
announced
thing
it.
that I do wanna say before we cut this, I was on the phone with my little sister, like, 2 days ago, and out of the blue, she's like, "Mom can't wait for grandkids," and she told me that, like, my dad really wants a grandson. I'm
You're
like,
they know.
"You think they know?
Yes.
How do they know?"
Parents know. My mom would know. My mom knows if I'm sad. It's really weird. I don't know how.
My mom
S
has been sending me, like, protection prayers lately, and I'm like, "Girl, what? She's never done that
Oh,
before."
she knows. I'm telling you, moms know. Moms always know. They know. I don't know how they know. You'll know when you're a mom because they always know.
Oh, I'm excited.
Anywho, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for
I guess we're fine.
having 2 of me, actually.
You're really doing fine.
Am I? We're fine. Everything's fine.
We're all fine. I'm fine. I'm strapped and fine. Strapped and fine. Thank you.
Let this be your sign to get on 2 forms of birth control. Bye.
Bye.